I've agreed to see them because they tell me their food product is remarkable, and on the table goes a food product which is inedible. And I ask them, why would we buy this food? And what they say is it's different. And I say, well, you mean it's different because it's horrible? And then they just stare blankly, because what they haven't done is eaten their food product against the competition.
Hi guys, welcome to BizzTalk. We're just actually in the head office of Itsu, where we're gonna interview the founder of not only Itsu but also Pret, Julian Metcalfe. Thank you for being here with us today. It's a pleasure, Julian. Nice to see you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much, Julian, for being here with us today.
You founded Pret A Manger with a college student of yours in 1986, and you sold it in 2018. How did you actually get the idea of revolutionizing the fast food industry?
I don't think I did have an idea to revolutionize the fast food industry at all. I don't think it was like that. I think I had an idea that we could have a food shop which would offer better food than the guys down the road. I think that's the way most businesses are built. But I think you have to go step by step. Building a business is like a ladder. You start at the bottom rung and you take one step. Up to a point, it's complex. You have to kind of work backwards from the top of the ladder, but you have to focus equally on one step at a time. So I didn't really think, and I don't think we have revolutionized anything, but I think we did collectively come up with the discipline and the ideas and the drive, the passion, the love and the attention to detail, which enabled us to grow from one store. I mean, the first store lost money for 4 years. It was a disaster. To get it right took a lot of passion and determination.
What actually made you say, I want to push through and I want to continue and I'm just going to go through fire?
Well, that's a really good question. A number of many things. I've never kind of worked out and written down the 3 or 4 or 5 things on a piece of paper, but it'll be a combination. It'll be a combination of a desire and a need to be successful and not fail. It'll be a desire and a need to make the product great and have the tenacity to deal with the fact, why wasn't the product great? It'll be a desire and a need to prove that the idea was possible in the first place. It'll be a number of different things, and put it all together in the pot, and you'll have enough desire, passion and drive to make the thing successful. But anyone watching this, when you first try and dream up an idea, it's highly unlikely to work. Forget it. No. You need the tenacity to keep changing it, listen, develop, learn from your customers, listen to your customers, pretend you are those customers, and then you'll get it right.
You mentioned that when you started Pret A Manger in 1986, that for the first 4 years you didn't drive any success. What actually was the turning point and the moment where you saw it's actually going up?
Okay, that's a really interesting question. It's a very good question. What was the turning point? In other words, when did Wednesday, gloomy, suddenly turn to Thursday, smiling and happy? Okay, so the truth is, there was not a turning point, and there is not going to be a turning point for you and anyone watching. There is no such thing. What there is, it's quite a slow process. There was no sudden light went on. In other words, if any of watching this program wants to develop a shoe or a hat or a belt or a food product or a makeup product, there will be no turning point. There will be a long, slow process, inch by inch, step by step, where you improve your product, you improve your logistics, you improve your marketing, you improve the smell, the taste, the eat, the color, you improve your logistics, you improve your relationship with a supplier. There are thousands of little breakthroughs. Thousands and thousands and thousands of little breakthroughs.
What are the key elements that go into from going to a vision to the actual execution?
So that's an interesting question. When do you lie in bed for months and months dreaming of starting a product and then suddenly having the guts to do it? It does take courage. Some of you watching this program will have to give up a good job to start your own company. My advice is try and get as much as you can done with a prototype. Try and show your prototype to as many people as possible. Go as far as you can before you just chuck in your job or invest your first £50,000 or whatever it is. And be really honest. It goes back to those first 2 things. You've got to be very honest about your product. Is your product really okay? It's not going to be the end product. It's not going to be the product which makes you successful. But is it just okay? Or is it ridiculous? I have sat in meetings hundreds of times where people have bought me food products. I've agreed to see them because they tell me their food product is remarkable. And on the table goes a food product which is inedible. And I ask them, why would we buy this food product? What is it about this, your idea? And what they say is it's different. And I say, well, you mean it's different because it's horrible? and then they just stare blankly because what they haven't done is eaten their food product against the competition.
If you could give 3 advices to any young entrepreneur out there who's trying to start their own business at this moment, what would these 3 advices
So I
be?
guess maybe the most important of all is you don't underestimate the tenacity and the determination you're going to need, because you will face failure almost every day for years, every day. So you definitely need to accept that, and don't see it as failure, see it as it's a learning journey. That's one. Don't underestimate that. And it's not bad, it's good. So don't see it as failure, see it as a journey. Secondly, you've got to be unbelievably, horrendously honest. So when you make something, you really got to get to the heart of, is it actually better? A lot of people don't, unfortunately, have that. They'll put an enormous amount of love, time, energy into making their product, and they won't have the guts to admit their product is shit, I'm afraid.
They're wasting their time.
Yeah, they've tried hard,
They tried hard, but it didn't.
but they're not honest enough to look failure in the face and say, okay, I need to tweak it or do something different. So that's 2. 3, I don't know the third. Personally, I'm not a very good businessman, so I've always covered my ass where I'm really hopeless. I've always tried to get people around me who are really wonderful and brilliant. So Sinclair, for instance, he had half the company of Pret A Manger because he had all the qualities I didn't. Here at Itsu, I have 2 CEOs who are both far better than I am at managing people and process. Far better than I am.
In other words, outsource your weaknesses and
Yeah,
work on
know
the
what your
strength,
weaknesses are, don't be ashamed of them, celebrate them, and go and find someone who's completely different to you, and be generous. Give them half the company, do whatever it is. Don't be cheap.
Thank you, Julian, for taking the time
You're welcome.
to be here with us today. I love
You're
you
welcome.
so much.
It's great, I hope it works out. You're very, very efficient and professional.
And I remember you telling me that when you just started, you only had 250 euros to get all this stuff.
Yeah, correction to